I usually do not write a lot of words, at least since I've done more art journaling. Usually I do a phrase or a Bible verse, and today this one right here has hit me with the new year, so I'm gonna write it down. Of course, if you're journaling, you can do whatever you want. This is just what I'm gonna do. If I make a misspelling, I'll just keep going. It is too squishy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up. I'm going to sneak this right here. It's the back of another sketchbook I cut up like that. It's still gonna be a little squishy, but not near as bad. Like that. Oh, that's better. I probably picked one of the harder pages to work on today. It's still gonna be have a little bit of give because I have collage under here. This pen is special, so I usually start with it. It was with me through so much. This inside is just a regular ballpoint pen, and I've reused this flower pen for years and years. Usually I find something to start with. Many times it's this flower. Sometimes it's dried, right? And then sometimes it's fake. I have a lot of seashells. I got a lot of doodads I've collected, and I put them around me. That's why my desk is a disaster. These are little, I don't know, pieces of things that I've picked up. Shells, you name it. Just something to give me an idea. And then I just go. I really love this one. Put him right here. And I don't worry about erasing. I just run with it. I'm gonna make mistakes, but I also know that I'm gonna cover up things. I really love spirals, so all my stuff has it. I think I'm gonna combine that. Ooh, I got an idea. Look at this. This is a lovely little ribbon that was on sale. I picked up. I'm gonna put him right here for inspiration. I'm gonna roll with it. It's not gonna look like much for a while. You're not happy. You don't need to bite me. Hey, what are you doing? Are you being bad? What are you doing? Ouch! That is not a happy bird. I can't make him happy right now. I pour water in my paint palette because the gouache here where we live dries out so fast. The reason I'm using gouache versus acrylic is I can go back and rework it. I also can thin it down. And I know that my pens and everything will draw over it because it's not slick. It's a little gritty. I still have my clean cup of water beside me that I can lift it. Paper towel, toilet paper, it all works. This is just packing paper, so I have to be kind of careful. could change. I'll let that sit. It will be dry in just a minute. What you're probably noticing is that the gouache is starting to lighten. Because I have watered it down, I can build it up a lot slower than if I just pack it on. So normally that's what I do. And now I'm developing my doodle, and what I like to do is find connections. When something swirls around, I'm like, where can it connect? My stomach is growling. And where can it connect? Like, I can connect it over here. And then this right here looks like it swoops in, but it can also go this way. Connect this way. And I know I can always cover it up if I don't like it. And then it's just working a puzzle and seeing where certain pieces fit. What I'm mainly pulling from right here are these leaves on this ribbon, this shell, this piece, with this little bead. Paul can't even hold him, he's so little. And then this fake flower. Another reason why I put down the gouache is so I can find textures. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just tracing the textures I see in the paint. So I put down the original lines, popped in the paint, and now I'm tracing the textures that I see. and it's helping me create the design. It's not very exciting right now, but what I'm doing is going back and starting to add value. So putting in some of my darks, and as far as technique goes, I'm just going to hatch it in. There's nothing special. I'm not trying to be really exact. I'm just trying to get it in. I'm not worried about it. Repetition is creating movement. And let's see. And so far, to be honest, this is not one of my most favorite doodles yet. But it's not about that. It's about experiencing the process, making marks, and letting go. I'm not worried about my writing. I can go back and rewrite it. This journal is for me and no one else. And I am following the guide of the paint and the leading of my gut. And honestly, the pressure is off knowing that I don't have to post anything. If you love flowers, don't let anybody tell you that flowers don't express emotion. I have lots of thoughts about the upcoming year, and it's coming out in the craziness of how much is going on in this little doodle. Where do I go? I feel like this needs to come this way. I'm going to turn it. just very, very loose. I'm not worried about it. Do in here, I'll do in here. I'm just going to get it started. Okay. The white's going to mix with it a little bit right now, make it a little bit like a milky gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and draw these again. And then I want to get this darker, so I'm just going to do this. Not really worried about it. Scumbling. I like to go into the next page to help me get started on that page. So basically, I'm creating a ground on that page. It could go onto the other side. If it does, I'll deal with it another day. And in this case, I'm going and tracing what I see the water-soluble pen makes, the little textures. A little more water. I could do this with black ink, but I really enjoy the water-soluble pen as well. And since I just got these, I'm going to play with them. It's also fun to trace the textures that the water-soluble pen makes. If I go back into the wet areas, it will bleed as I draw, which is nice as well. I gotta be careful because if it gets too wet, it'll tear. Let's see, where do I want to go? I think, oh yeah. I'll do that, let him do his thing. And then back into here. This is turning out a little dark, but I can lighten it or not. This is water. This needs dark. Just gonna scribble or scumble it in. Just want to draw through that just because I want to. Let's see. I would not be doing this if it was felt tip, but it's a ballpoint, and so I know that I'm not going to kill the tip like I would if it was a felt tip pen. Still layer gouache back over the top of it. And bring back some areas that may have been too dark, or create new ones. This is starting to curl. It's almost like adding a layer, like a film, or even you could say a skin over the top. this needs to really dry, so I'll be back